Hello, my name is Sarah Snyder, and this is my State of the World Air Transport Industry presentation. The thesis of this presentation is to research the state of the air transport industry, provide a comprehensive overview of the history, trends, difficulties, and future. Some of the topics to be covered include the overall fragility of the industry, the history, fuel costs, demand, support and government, as well as a closer look at U.S. airlines. Tony Tyler at the 2012 State of the Industry speech in Beijing stated, "Over the last decade, airline revenue totaled $4.6 trillion. We were among the world's fastest growing industry, but our best annual profit margin of the century so far was 2.9%. And the overall result has been a net loss of $16 billion. As Mr. Tyler states, although the industry is growing at an unbelievable rate, it does not mean that it is a profitable industry. It is filled with highs and lows and a very low margin when comparing it to such a large economic scale." As you can see, there are some consistent trends to the industry's net margin, of which, of course, major events in the world affect some of the rises and falls. For example, the clear drop starting in 2001 after the attacks on the World Trade Center, and then you can see the slow profit regain until 2008 when fuel reached its record high. The graph shown of the West Texas Intermediate, or WTI, crude oil price per barrel elaborates a bit more on the increase in fuel prices with the peak in June of 2008. Because of this enormous increase in fuel costs, airlines were forced to either drastically increase their price or take a major loss in terms of expenses. As you can also see from the graph, the fuel price is now at a relative low at just below $40 per barrel. As you can see, the airline industry does not have a large net profit, especially not consistently. As mentioned on the previous slide, in 2008, fuel price spikes affect not just the profits of 2008, but also continued into 2009. The RPKs have been on a consistent increase, with the availability and desire to travel internationally more prominent, does not seem to be slowing down. Alongside the RPKs is the ASKs, or available seat kilometers. The difference between RPKs and ASKs does not seem to be getting any smaller, which could potentially be harmful in the future. In terms of airports, increase in air travel means more airports are operating at capacity. The United Kingdom has ruled out additional runway capacity at its only hub airport, Heathrow, which is already operating at 99% capacity. With the growth in operations and dependability on air travel, the airports and air management systems need to be expanding with it. As far as government regulations and taxations, the only consistency is that they are changing, with the newest issues being the environment and proper ways to regulate the pollution caused by aircraft. Airlines continue to have to pay a large quantity to the government, foreign or domestic. Now, more specifically, taking a look at the United States Airlines, starting in 2005 and ending in 2014, Delta, United, Southwest, and American Airlines are the four remaining major carriers in the U.S. With the merging of these companies comes good and bad. Some may argue with less options comes more possible price increase. However, it also brings stability to the airlines. It is much less common for airlines to go bankrupt and keep a consistent job market available. In conclusion, there is no one way to increase the state of the air transport industry for the simple fact that it is always changing. However, it is easier now than ever to predict future growth as well as potential decrease in business, so that the airlines can react accordingly. There are many factors that must be taken into account when assessing something of such magnitude, and unfortunately, I only scrape the surface. All in all, I would say the industry is on a continuing upswing, but I would definitely expect a decline in the near future. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.